Hello and welcome to episode number 46 of the Subject Podcast. You know my voice by now. I'm Chris, joined every single week with the other guy here.
The less irritating voice. Dear law.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. How you doing this week, Mike?
Oh, yeah. Doing alright, I guess. Found a big scratch on my car yesterday.
Ooh. That's not good.
Fun. Not fun. Not happy.
Someone go out and key your car.
Someone scratched the shit out of my car.
Yeah.
And didn't even leave a note or anything.
Yikes. If you are that
Angry.
person, and if you are listening, Mike has some words for you.
Yeah, just I want you to post your address in the comments. I want to send you something.
It's going to be his quarter panel. Fix it!
Yeah, it's going to be a bill.
It's going to be something.
It's going to be an invoice.
Definitely going to be something.
How's your week going?
Man, it's going pretty well. Yeah, it's pretty
It's going
good.
pretty well.
It's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
I'm liking it. New job's going well. I'm loving it. Bloody things are looking good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Speaking of things looking good, things are looking real good for the people in the US with their new president. Joe Biden's done a whole heck of a lot of work since he got into office.
He
He's
definitely has been.
done a lot of reversing, basically doing 180-degree turns on bills that Donald Trump has signed.
Yeah.
And I think, Mike, you looked up the numbers. It's something like 40.
Yeah, it was like 40 something. Yeah, 42 or 46 or something like that. And
Something like that.
it's a lot. You know, we're only 2 months into this year, and he's only been in office for, not really that long, to be honest.
A few weeks.
And he's passed a lot.
He has. And look, a lot of it's things like rejoining the Transatlantic Alliance, rejoining the G7, the Munich Security Conference, the Paris Climate Agreement, the G20. There's a lot of stuff that Donald Trump really fucking hated that was going to help the planet that he just didn't want to do. And now Joe Biden's like, we kind of have to do this shit. This is stuff that we need to do because everybody is our friends.
Yeah, he's done, it is 42 executive orders.
There you go.
So that means that he has been gone over Congress, gone over the House, and he's just done it himself. He's like, nah, this is happening.
Pretty much. Joe Biden had a video conference with the G7 on Friday the 19th of February. And basically, he was there just to reassure everybody that America is an ally, not an enemy. And he set out his determination to bury the legacy left by Donald Trump. His speech never mentioned Donald Trump, but it was framed, and there was a lot of read between the lines. You can sort of tell that he's just talking about reversing every single policy that is damaging to the US over the last 4 years that Trump has signed. This was, of course, in the wake of the insurrection incited by Donald Trump. Obviously, you know about the supporters storming the Capitol building in Washington, which was not a good thing.
A lot of people went to jail for that.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
they thought it was all fun and games.
I mean, it's trespassing on government property. How do you expect the government to respond?
Yeah.
They're not going to be happy about it. Anyway, back to Joe Biden. He said in a speech to the G7 that he would be sending troops back to Germany to help support people in Munich because Donald Trump had a bit of a spat with Angela Merkel, who is, I believe, the prime minister or president or whatever they call it in Germany, of Germany. So she's the political leader of Germany. And she and Donald Trump had a bit of a falling out because they're both, let's say, strong-willed people. And so because Donald Trump couldn't handle how strong-willed Angela Merkel is, he decided, you know what? You don't get military support.
Yeah.
So extracted like 10,000 troops out of Germany because of that one little spat. Which just kind of says to me that he's a very petty man.
Yeah, I can see that. There was actually a group of 30 House Democrats that asked Joe Biden to cede his sole authority to launch nuclear weapons, and he's refusing to.
Yeah, and I think nuclear weapons are the response that is needed.
Well, so they said that vesting one person with the authority entails real risk. Because if there's just one person that says yes or no, then that one person can just say yes, and then no one else can say anything, and then, ba-boom, World War III.
This is true. And it wouldn't be really World War III. It'd just be the end of the world. Because if, 10% of the nuclear warheads that are owned by the superpowers that be went off, then that would be devastating to the entire world.
Yeah, but it would be World War III, and then it would be World War IV would be what fought with sticks and stones.
Yeah. That was a quote by, I think it was Einstein. He said, "I don't know what World War III will be fought with, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones."
Yeah,
like you said, and it's looking that way, to be honest.
Yeah, but there's really also you look into the UN and everyone. I'm pretty sure they've all agreed that nuclear weapons is not a go.
It's a bit much, I think, is what they all said. And speaking of nuclear weapons, Joe Biden has also promised to re-enter multilateral nuclear talks with Iran.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that's them saying that they want to denuclearize Iran or just sort of mitigate the risk of them setting off a nuclear warhead towards the US or anyone else.
Well, I mean, Trump did that with North Korea.
This is true.
He went there. He was the first American president to ever step foot in North Korea.
Because I'm pretty sure Kim Jong-un thought he was also a dictator. So it's oh yes, fellow dictator, come on into my dictatorship. I think it was see how it's run.
North Korea being a little bitch, and then America saying, "Hey, look, we've got more weapons that can reach you right now.
Knock, motherfucker.
we're gonna come over and say hello and look friendly." But really, it was just a low-level threat, and basically saying, "If you keep going, we're gonna fucking blow you the fuck up."
Yeah. Pretty
and
much.
I mean, North Korea is just stupid anyway because they were threatening to blow up China, and China's okay, let's just stop all trade. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, you don't get anything off us now.
Yeah,
where you gonna be? Moving on from the nuclear option, Joe Biden has also said that the US will return to the World Health Organization, which is a very good thing. And he said that with the return, he's announcing $4 billion of support for the global vaccine effort on COVID. It's going to be $2 billion immediately and another $2 billion over the next 2 years once other donors have delivered their pledges. Which is, I reckon, a good thing. Do you reckon so, Mike? I mean, $4 billion into investing into research into a vaccine. There's got to be something good out of that.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people don't really trust WHO anymore. They feel WHO was kind of dicking everyone around. There was some reports that they didn't release about COVID. Well, they waited a while to. And then, I mean, they're necessary. And then investing this much money is good. But, I mean, we already have a vaccine, right? Well, so this would be what?
The thing about the vaccines, and I'm using air quotes. I know you guys at home can't see the air quotes, but I'm using the air quotes around vaccines because they're not actually clinically tested yet. So they're effective, and we know that they work, but they haven't been certified. They haven't been.
But if we know that they work, then what's the point?
Because there might be other health risks with them. We don't know what other side effects could happen to 1 in 7 billion people. someone might have an adverse reaction to something in there. You might have an allergic reaction.
Yeah.
By the way, it's still worth getting the shot. Please don't think that that's me saying don't get vaccinated. Please do get vaccinated because it's the best option we have at the moment. But something that is more widely tested, something that is more, accepted as an effective solution to this, because I don't think that the current vaccines where they are like properly tested because they were kind of rushed.
Well, the whole point of a vaccine is to build your immune system against it, right?
Yeah.
So if it does that, then the vaccine works. Lots of vaccines that we have today can cause reactions. It's the same old shit. It's not
just a
different.
thing that happens.
So investing this money is either going to be more for supplying the vaccine, I would say. I don't think it's going to go too further into researching, maybe testing, I guess. But what's the point if we know that it does, build your immune system and stop you from contracting it? Then there's no real point in researching into it any more than once you deal it out, and then sure, some people are getting some reactions to it, and then you can go, okay, well then maybe there's a way to go around that. But it's like the flu shot can give you the flu. It can give you an allergic reaction. Blood transfusions can give you an allergic reaction. There's nothing they can really do about that.
This is true. I feel like, though, for the most part, that the virus is always changing, right? The flu virus is always changing. The flu shots are always changing every single year.
Yeah.
So there's no point in not investing in more research into it, because if the flu virus changes, we know the COVID-19 virus changes because we've got the UK strain, we've got the South African strain, and there's a strain that
but they're all the same, though. UK. They're all the same. They just spread faster.
It's all the same virus, but it's a different variant. So it needs to be addressed in a different way.
It's treated the same way, though. The vaccine will be treated. It treats all of them because it's affected the same way. Okay, it just spreads faster.
If that's the case, if it's the same virus but it spreads faster, then we just need to keep our eyes on hand washing and mask wearing and sneezing into our elbows and shit like that.
So I mean, like, that's going to help people. It's going to be going to help against the common cold and everything.
Yeah.
If more people just did that,
it's just going to be another version of the common cold, maybe.
I'd say so. Or if anything, maybe people die from influenza, thousands and thousands. And then you don't hear peep about that, to be honest. If an 80-year-old with, breathing problems got influenza, yes, they're probably going to die.
She going to die.
It's the same with COVID. So I feel like it's investing that much money. Yeah, sure. It would be good to get the vaccine out, you know what I mean, to try and help the elderly and all that, for sure. But, I don't know. I feel like that money could also go somewhere else as well, for more immediate results.
This is true. I mean, you could invest it into like hospitals and getting your hospitals ready for the influx of people.
Well, in the American health system, right? So everything's so expensive over there.
Yeah,
is because their hospitals are losing money because people don't want to go to hospital because it's so expensive.
Because everything's
making
privatized.
Things more expensive.
Yeah.
The less people go, the more money they lose. So the prices have to go up.
Yeah.
So it's just this vicious circle. So it's like, why don't you put that money into your healthcare system,
Yeah, I really don't like the healthcare system in the US. I don't want to go to the US just because of that. Like, if I get hurt over there,
you're fucked.
And I have
unless
to go
you have traveler's insurance.
Unless I have traveler's insurance. But even then, the excess for the traveler's insurance might go up because I'm in the US and shit over there is so fucking expensive, especially when you're sick or when you're injured. It's just, it fucks you over. It's not cool.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. So yeah, I feel like that money would probably be better for their own healthcare system than going into a more research, because all what fucking China, Australia, all these people are putting money into the vaccine and research and all that. So it's not like there's no funding for it.
Well, I haven't really heard any money coming from Australia in the last couple of weeks. to sort of combat the virus.
Well, I mean, the virus has been around for over a year now. So,
This is true.
I'm pretty sure within that year, funding has gone from majority of the countries, first world countries anyway.
This is true. And if you do find that Australia did invest some money, I feel like it wouldn't have been that much. But, hit us up in the comments. See us with some facts. The other thing that I wanted to talk about as well is still staying on Joe Biden, but moving over to his climate policies now. Because his climate envoy, Joe Biden's climate envoy, whose name is John Kerry, has said that the US and Australia are not on the same page when it comes to climate change. And I feel like that's because Scotty Boy listens to Rupert Murdoch on his spare time. And we both know that Mr. Murdoch is a staunch climate denier.
Sorry, just quickly, $363 million in support is what they've done.
Is what Australia's invested.
Yep.
Oh, there you go. Oh, that's a significant chunk of money.
It's a lot of money.
There's a lot of money. It's no $4 billion, but it's
I think
pretty
$4
good.
billion is pretty excessive.
It's a little bit out of our price
I think
range.
that was probably more of a political stunt, maybe.
I feel like that's probably a combination of actually wanting to invest in that and maybe just overdoing it a little bit so that countries are like, oh, wait, hang on. The US actually does want to help us again?
Wait, okay, sorry. Let me just quickly go back into this. So Australia's entered into 4 separate agreements for the supply of COVID-19 vaccines, and they are to provide to be safe and effective. The Australian government has invested $363 million to support research and development to contribute to the global effort to find successful vaccine and treatments to stop the spread of COVID-19. The Australian government has invested more than $3.3 billion through these 4 agreements. Okay. So there you go. So we've already
pretty
invested
much
the same amount.
When you get up into the reptilian numbers, it's all pretty much the same.
And yet our healthcare system's still better than theirs.
Yeah, our healthcare system is still better. Although, to be honest, Scott does want it to be privatised.
Oh yeah, I mean,
so
the whole
he does want it to be
Liberal
like the
Party
US.
wants it privatised. Yeah. They don't want Medicare. They don't want it. They think it's a waste of taxpayer money.
Well, Medibank was supposed to be a government-funded thing, and then it got privatised under the Liberals.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Especially keep it in mind when the US say that Australia is not on the same level as them when it comes to climate change.
Yeah, well, like Chris and I had a little talk about this before, and I said that, the whole world is against Australia on, climate change. Because Australia just doesn't fucking care. They're not doing anything to, they're not trying to meet the 2050 or 2030, was it predictions of becoming carbon neutral? Mm-hmm. They're like, nah.
The US has committed to reducing their carbon emissions to 0 by 2050, but it has pushed the Australian government to pledge the same.
Yeah.
But this has torn a rift through Australian politics because some people reckon it's bollocks and other people reckon it's not bollocks. So hit us up in the comments, those guys listening at home. Is climate change bollocks? Is it not bollocks? Let us know. I mean, I'm for one think it is not bollocks. It's very scary, and it's already probably too late. And we've already done too much damage to the environment as it is, and we've fucked the planet.
Well, not yet. It is reversible at the moment.
Yeah.
So that's why we got to do it.
Sir David Attenborough doesn't reckon so.
Elon Musk reckons so.
Yeah, Elon Musk has a lot more science and money behind him.
So let's see. So every state and territory in Australia has pledged to reach carbon neutrality by at least 2050. The ACT has gone one better, moving to 100% renewable energy from the 1st of January, with a commitment to become eliminate of carbon
Was that
by 2045.
was that South Australia and the ACT? Sorry, I might have misheard you. Which states were they?
Every state and territory
Okay.
in Australia has pledged to reach carbon neutrality by at least 2050. The ACT has gone one better, moving to 100% renewable energy from the 1st of January.
Nice. That is good. And I'm glad that every state and territory has announced that.
Yeah, but 2050 is too far away.
It's 30 years, yeah. Like 30 years you have to fuck the climate in the meantime. And Gladys being Gladys is still clearing land like nobody's business.
Yeah.
Worse than third world dictatorships. Still, just by the way.
So you've got the United States as the world's second largest polluter, has not made any commitments at the federal level towards achieving a net zero emissions under President Trump, anyway. Under President Trump, who has a track record of climate denial, blah, blah, blah. But the state of California, which has the 5th largest economy, has legislated a pledge to reach net zero by 2045.
You know, California is one of those states in America that they're always like pioneering things in California. Yeah. It's never sort of been the one to lag behind everybody else.
So in order to achieve the ambitious goal, it would need to remove 113 million tons of carbon from the atmosphere, which is the equivalent of 26 million cars.
Plant a lot of trees.
Yeah, trees. See, trees are good, I guess, in the long run, but right now, I mean,
they're not going to do that much.
They're not going to do nothing. They're small.
Which is why I think Elon Musk has posted that that competition for that grant that we were talking about the other week.
Yeah.
What was it? $100 million that you could potentially win for scrubbing carbon from the atmosphere.
Yeah. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and he was talking about that. And the reason why he's done it is because he doesn't know of a way to extract carbon from the atmosphere and store it. So that's the whole point, is to get someone who can figure it out and do it on a large scale. And yeah, he said that you can just plant trees, but it's not enough.
No.
It's not enough.
I mean, Team Trees planted 20 million trees, what was it, 2 years ago, 2019?
Was that Mr. Beast's thing?
Yeah.
Or? I don't know how many he planted.
Planted something like that. It was the goal was 20 million trees. I think they reached that goal and then surpassed it. But yeah, it's like you said, like Elon Musk's saying, planting trees is not going to be enough. So we need to do more than just plant trees. We also need to move away from coal, which is something that John Kerry has told the Australian spokesman. This really disappoints me to say that Angus Taylor was our spokesperson.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, Angus Taylor did agree with the US and saying that we do need a practical solution for climate change. But I think that they thought that the US was pushing them a bit hard by saying, "Oh, get down to zero emissions by 2050." And the coalition's like, no, we have coal buddies that want money by 2050.
Yeah, but the thing is like federally in Australia, we're like, no. But, you know, in the state government, no. They're actually doing stuff, you know.
Yeah. Queensland, Victoria, Western Australia, the Northern Territory, and I believe South Australia are all investing in renewable energy sources. So I know in Queensland, up in Cairns and Mackay, there's a few solar power and solar battery manufacturing plants, which already have a very low CO2 emissions rating anyway, and they're producing some of the best solar panels in the world.
Yeah,
right here in Queensland, which is awesome. And I don't know why the government's not investing more into that. Oh wait. I figured it out.
I think I know why.
I think I also
something
know
to do
why.
with money.
It's definitely something to do with money.
Them saying we don't have enough money.
It's
And
also
then the coal company saying we've got enough money.
the coal company saying, we've got that money that you were supposed to get. Thank you.
Well, China has vowed to reduce its footprint to 0 by 2060.
See, even then, that is a commitment from the Chinese government. Well, you haven't seen anything from the Australian federal government, at least. No commitments federally.
Yeah.
We've only seen it on the state level and on the local level. Which means that, Scott Morrison, you need to fucking step up already. Be a bloody leader. You haven't led since you were elected. And even before then, you haven't led. He's not a leader.
Literally
He's just
done nothing.
He's some bottom-feeding moron of a man who couldn't even write a tourism campaign right.
Yeah.
He tried twice in 2 separate countries and fucked tourism in both of those countries.
Yeah, all he's done is just sat around. And it's just frustrating to see him, like, in Congress.
Yeah.
And not even paying attention, like, to what the Labor or anyone else is talking about. The dude doesn't even know how to read a script that is in front of him.
Yeah,
with all the lies. There's all the lies literally right in front of him. And he slipped. I told the truth briefly. No. It wasn't. It wasn't 2 years ago. It was last week. Yeah.
No. You know what he said? He said April, some date in April of this year.
Yeah, I know.
That's
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that he was reading it off. He was reading the lie, and then he accidentally said the truth.
He can't even read a lie properly.
So he's just an idiot.
He is. And it really annoys me that some people think that he's a good leader.
Yeah.
Like, the other night I was at work and we were pretty quiet. So I was having a conversation with the guy that was sitting there, and he goes, what do you reckon about this whole COVID thing? And I'm like, well, to be honest, I think our government could be doing a little bit better. You know, our Prime Minister could be showing a bit more leadership and get himself vaccinated first instead of the shadow Prime Minister doing it before him. Anthony Albanese, just by the way, is your shadow Prime Minister. And then
I would hope so.
Yeah. He goes, do you like Scott Morrison? I said, no, not at all. I think he's a terrible person and he should never be in politics. He should actually be arrested and put into prison because of all the lies that he's told us.
Yeah, I feel like, prime ministers, presidents, anyone, like, they think they're above the law because they're ahead of the country.
Yeah,
and it's
you're
just
supposed
like,
to uphold the law. You're not supposed to be above it.
Yeah, it's just, it's the same with, Gladys. And literally, she's been exposed of taking corruption to the next level. And
she
fact.
Still has her fucking job.
She still has her job. Oh. She hasn't been fined. She hasn't been sent to prison.
Nothing has happened.
Gone to trial. So what? Like,
she lied straight to ICAC about her conduct, and she still has her fucking job. Excuse me?
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
Get this woman out of politics.
What's the difference between, her breaking the law to this degree where millions of dollars gets thrown down the toilet and, a lot of people may lose their jobs.
Or projects go to people that have a certain political interest there.
Yeah. So it's like there's that level of corruption and law breaking. Say I get pulled over because I have a busted taillight and nearly get fined for it. Like, what's the difference there?
How is that at all fair?
How is that? Yeah, what's the go?
That's not fair. A fair go is... And look, Scott Morrison, if you're fucking listening, if you want a fair go, then you'll treat people fairly. There's your own fucking slogan thrown back in your face, dickhead. You want a fair go? Treat everybody else fairly.
That's the thing with, like, Albanese,
He's such a chat.
Genuinely wants to give everyone equality.
Yes.
Like, he genuinely wants it. Whereas SCOMO just wants people who have all the money to then, they're fine, so we'll just look after them because they've got all the money. And then everyone in poverty is like,
can just go and fuck themselves.
Yeah, literally. It's like, you want a bit more money? Here's $3 a day. Yeah, survive on that.
How's that? Bloody people
The
on
actual
JobSeeker
fuck.
and people on JobSeeker right now are going to be forced to live on $45 a day.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
How?
How is
It's
that
ridiculous.
even possible? It's
$45
and
a
yet,
day.
and yet, Scott Morrison, when he's traveling, gets $1,600 a day just for food.
Literally.
Just for food. How
The guy didn't
stupid is
even
that?
take the guy didn't even take a pay cut when COVID hit.
He sat for 40 days.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give myself a pay rise. What?
Man. And as I was talking to this guy at my work, he's saying all this good stuff about Scott Morrison and how he's a good guy, and I'm like, no, he's not.
No.
He fucked off during the bushfires. He essentially fucked off during the start of COVID. Like, we didn't hear anything from him except for, it's a state issue, to a worldwide pandemic.
Yeah.
It's worldwide, bruh. You need to be involved in this.
Nah. I'm federal government, mate. It's the state government that has to deal with it.
Man, it
where's COVID?
pisses
Oh, it's
me
in
off.
your state? Nah, it's a state issue. It's not.
Oh, where's COVID? Oh, it's all over the world? Nah, it's a state issue.
Yeah, go on.
And this guy was trying to, justify Scott Morrison's reasoning, and I'm like, no, there is no justifying this. It is pure and simple idiocy. And he goes, "Oh, do you reckon Anthony Albanese is going to do a better job?" I said, "Yeah, because he actually has
Guarantee.
a clear plan that he has set out on his Facebook page to say this is the things that we're going to do.
Yeah.
This is how we're going to do them, and this is what will benefit in the community for you."
I mean, what? I watched ALBO's address the other day that he did, and he said that they have all these policies that they're willing to do. They have had to help the Liberal government through COVID, through all this other shit, just to have it all the credit taken from them.
Exactly.
And then
It's fucked.
they had SCOMO fuck it up anyway, and now there are people who were, kind of being supported, I guess, seeing as our COVID package was the one of the worst in all the first world nations.
Yeah, and our Centrelink, our welfare, if you want to call it that, is the lowest paid welfare in the developed world.
Yeah, so it's like, now I want to... Also, I don't want to increase super, even though we agreed that we would, but we're not going to.
But my super gets increased.
My super gets increased.
I get 12.5%.
I work really
you
hard.
plebs get 9.5%.
I work really hard,
I
so
sat
I need
for
that.
40 days last financial year. Y'all can go do one.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
You guys were
essentially
at
Scott
home
Morrison's-
without jobs, and I had to work 40 days that year. So I deserve
I get a
it.
pay rise. I get a super rise. All you guys can just go fuck yourselves.
Exactly.
That's what Scott Morrison's told the
And-
nation, is that he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about you.
And he was like, okay, so we've also got the minimum wage. Okay, so what do we want to do about that? Do we want to raise the minimum wage so people can afford things more?
Nope.
No.
Just jack up the prices for everything
that
else.
increases it. That's inflation there. No, if everyone gets more money, that's inflation. Things become more expensive. You dumb motherfucker. Things are already expensive as fuck.
Makes me
No
so
one can
mad.
afford shit anymore.
Yeah. It makes me so mad that someone that is in such a high position of power can be so fucking thick.
All he wants to do is just take his little clump of coal back home, get his wife to get out of the bedroom, and just sit and stare at it while he wanks off. Like, I swear, that's all he does.
That is pretty much what he does. And then he just goes to Jenny for moral support.
Yeah, the country's being mean to me. They say I don't know how to do my job. What's my job again? I'll just sit here and
Your
talk
Prime
shit.
Minister, Scott.
I have to read this piece of paper.
It's
Fucking
I said
annoying.
April this year instead of April 2019.
Oh,
Even then, over 2 years, I did nothing but cover it up.
I've been lying for the last 2 years, and the one time I tell the truth.
Although it's no different, I've been lying for my entire life.
It's ridiculous. It frustrates me.
He is a terrible person, and I can't believe that people still think he's a good guy.
Yeah, ALBO just absolutely hates the guy.
Yeah,
And
I absolutely
I
hate
watched
Scott Morrison.
I watched an address that he did as well, and while ALBO was, addressing Mr. Speaker and the whole the whole Congress or
Scotty Boy was on his phone.
yeah,
wasn't
he's
he?
literally on his phone, not even like facing
that.
him, just like flicking through social media or some shit.
The man has no etiquette.
And
he has
Albanese's
no respect.
just like, look, he won't even pay attention to what I have to say. He's just sitting there on his phone. It's like, this is the people
Albo's point
elected.
exactly.
People
I don't-
elected this guy.
I don't think the people elected him, because yet again we've got to think about what is being published for the public to get their information from. So I'm talking about our news outlets.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, but the thing is, the people still voted for them. You know,
That's
whether
because they
they
were
have,
duped.
whether they've been given misinformation or they just haven't gone out and looked for it themselves. It's just people still voted for him. You know,
People still voted for him because he said, "Go the Sharks."
it's just
That's essentially
so
his
frustrating.
only campaign slogan, because nobody would let him write any other one.
The man will literally not do anything unless it's for a photo op. He will
Yep.
like jump the line at a vaccine clinic.
Yep.
So he can get the first one above all these elderly people who are lined up. And the best photo to come out of it was this woman fucking
Giving him the finger.
screaming at him, giving him the finger. And
Yeah,
it's just...
I would
oh,
too. Fuck that guy to the moon.
It's so frustrating. And then Albanese's just like, all right, I'll just wait in line until it's my turn.
I'm just gonna wait in line.
No
Oh, hey,
worries.
you gotta. I'm gonna get the vaccine off a Sudanese refugee that came over with her 6 kids. Fuck yeah, give me that needle.
Yeah. It's
What a
just-
Chad.
Ugh.
Anthony Albanese is, look, honestly, the best option for us right now. I don't care if you do or don't like him as a person. As a politician, he has actually set out specific goals and targets that he wants to achieve.
Yeah.
And he's set out ways in which they're going to achieve them. And yet the Liberal government has done none of that. Ever. They have never set out any goals or any ways in which they can achieve those goals for the Australian people.
Yeah, because
So
they
they are
know
not-
that they've got Murdoch in their back pocket, so they know that they'll just
Yeah.
kept getting re-elected.
Thank you, smear campaigns.
It's ridiculous.
The also an update on the inquiry into media diversity that we were talking about. I think it was, what, last week.
That
or the
Kevin
week before?
Rudd brought to the Greens.
Yep, and the
Yeah.
Greens were taking credit for it.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Greens. Anyway, the Greens took credit for it because they sat it in Parliament, because Kevin Rudd obviously not sitting in Parliament anymore.
No.
But the results came back from it, and the federal government has told the committee that they do not recommend proceeding with this any further. I'm like, of course the federal
Of course
government
they don't want to.
doesn't want to proceed with it any further because they're going to be exposed for corruption.
Exactly.
And then they're going to be referred to ICAC, where they lie to the investigators' faces, and they're going to get away with it again. Which is bullshit.
And also, if you're able to stop Murdoch from owning a monopoly and everything, then they're going to lose all their traction.
100% of the newspapers in Queensland.
Yeah. So it's like they have more to lose, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
passing
Obviously, they have more
it.
to
So they
lose.
don't want to.
And Murdoch also loses his massive piggy bank and sway power in politics, because that's the only reason he has all these newspaper articles, all these newspaper publications, is for the political power.
Yeah.
And I saw a image that Kevin Rudd posted during the whole proceedings of the investigation, and it was 8 separate newspaper publications all over the
Yeah, I
country
saw that, yeah.
with the exact same headline and photo. Like, no variation or whatsoever. And that really just said to me, at least, oh my God.
Like, the proof is right there.
Yeah,
Like,
the proof
literally.
is right there. 8 separate articles from 8 separate publications all saying the same fucking thing. Like, if that's not a monopoly on the industry, then I obviously don't know what the word monopoly means.
Yeah, and then there was it one of the people on the fucking that Kevin Rudd was addressing asked him if he's ever leaked information to a reporter or anything, and Kevin Rudd was like, look, if we were to go back years and years and years on our political histories and all the individual people that we spoke to, then we would be here for hours and hours and days and weeks.
The whole point is to investigate Rupert Murdoch.
And the guy was just
Kevin
like,
Rudd.
it's a yes or no question. And then one of the other cabinet members was just like, what, you've never spoken to a fucking reporter? You've never leaked anything? He's like, no, I haven't. It's like, oh, well, you're one of the only people here that probably hasn't. Good for you. Yeah. They're like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, honestly, just shut up. You're not investigating Kevin Rudd. You're investigating Rupert Murdoch. Actually focus on your fucking job and do it for once. It's not that hard. You can see...
It's just frustrating.
The evidence is all there, saying that Rupert Murdoch has an unfair monopoly on the media in Australia because he owns every publication in Queensland. And he owns 80% of the rest of them in the country.
Yeah.
There are almost no publications left that Rupert Murdoch does not own. And it's ridiculous. And he got I know I've said this before, he got a $20 million grant from the government to keep regional papers open. He decided to then close those regional papers he was supposed to keep open.
Yeah.
And he kept the $20 million.
Yeah, because he's like, this is my money now. You gave it to me.
Oh, thanks for giving me that $20 million. I'm just going to go ahead and close those newspapers that you told me to keep open. And thanks for the 20 mil. See ya.
Yeah.
How fucking stupid is that?
Well, actually, it's genius.
It's genius on the side of Murdoch. But,
yeah. But for us, it's fucked.
$20 million that we're worse off because Mr. Murdoch decided he wanted an expensive lunch.
Like, what? That's taxpayer money. That's my money, your money, everybody who's listening. That's your money, unless you don't pay taxes. But it's still...
I mean,
it's still fucked.
It's still your parents' money. It's still like your auntie's money, your brother's money.
Exactly.
It's every Australian citizen that pays taxes pays for this stuff. So we essentially paid Rupert Murdoch to close those newspaper publications.
Yeah,
I think
pretty
it's
much
an absolute crime that he is going to get a state funeral and I'm not.
I think
that's fucked.
Once... because Gladys has been busted for corruption and all the money that she's lost in donations, air quotes, donations.
She hasn't lost it. She knows exactly where it's going.
So I feel like what should happen is she should be reprimanded and then forced to pay that money back to the government. Well, either way, she should be paying that money back, and she should be paying it back for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
All the money.
No income for you anymore,
exactly.
Gladys. It's all paid.
Literally every single thing that you earn goes directly back into the taxpayer's pocket. Mm-hmm. Because it's like, it's the same that should happen to SCOMO, all that money go back into our pockets. I mean, I'm sure he can afford it. He's one of the highest paid fucking prime ministers in the world.
Over the last 4 years that he's been seating, he's earned $1 million, $2 million.
At least.
Before tax. And even then, he doesn't pay any tax because he gets to decide who pays tax.
What is it? Let me see.
Man. 600 of the world's most profitable, organizations that operate in Australia do not pay any tax. Any tax.
No.
And that's billions and billions of dollars that we're not seeing at all. We could be getting fucking 33% tax off of these massively profitable companies that are making easily $600 billion a year, and we're seeing nothing from it because Scotty Boy decided, don't worry about paying tax, boys. Just come in and take all of our resources.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then we'll buy it off you for an insane markup.
What is it? So his salary is $550,000.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even pay him $50
to mow my lawn. I wouldn't pay him $20 to mow my lawn.
I wouldn't pay him to mow my fucking lawn. I wouldn't want him to mow my lawn because he'd fuck it up.
No, I'd love to film him just mowing my lawn. And then
look at this, Scott Morrison's mowing my lawn.
Look how fucking shit it is. You haven't had fucking mow a lawn, mate.
You can't even go in a straight line.
It's insane. Like, what was it? Albanese when he was addressing about SCOMO, and he was just like, Scott Morrison has never really worked a shitty job in his life.
No, he hasn't.
He has been well off since childhood. His parents were fucking rich.
He was born in the Shire. And if you don't know, that's it's a northern Sydney suburb, which is very, very rich. So he was born and raised in a rich suburb. He went to a private school, and then he got a government job handed to him.
Yeah, and SCOMO, right? He worked at Macca's, retail, all the shitty jobs, worked hard to get to where he is right now.
Yeah.
And then he even gets his kids to go work at Macca's, to go get these, menial jobs in a way. So, he has the experience. He knows what it's like. Whereas SCOMO, like you said, he's just been raised in wealth. He doesn't know any different.
He's had everything ridiculous handed to him on a silver platter, whereas Anthony Albanese has worked for it.
Exactly. And that's why I trust Labour.
Yeah, that's why I would much rather elect a Labour government. And to be honest, with the way that there's people dropping off of the Labour coalition, the Liberal National Coalition, like fucking flies. First up, Craig Kelly left, and then I think Barnaby Joyce has also left, and they want to form a Conservatives party, which will oppose the Liberal government.
Yeah.
So therefore, Scott Morrison will be running a minority government.
Good.
Which means that basically he'll have next to no power as Prime Minister, which is a good thing because I don't want him to have any power.
No. You want all the seats to move over to the Labour side. You want everyone to go sit over that side so that when the bills come and then they start voting, everyone will vote with Labour, and then he will just sit there and be like, oh, okay. So
where are all my friends?
But I'm Prime Minister. Why can't I just say it happens?
I've got the big boy pants on.
Why can't? And it's like, it's called democracy. It's called a government. Like,
you lost
you
out,
may
fuckhead.
be the head party, but in the end, it's like everyone has to vote for it.
Yeah, it's still democracy.
Yeah, so...
Yeah. Anyway, let us know what you think about all that down in the comments. While you're down there's a heap of links down in the description. If you want to hear or absorb any more information about what we're talking about today, hit up those links. While you're down there, hit that like and subscribe button. We can't do this without you guys, so
smack it.
Smack it!
On the floor. Smack it. Give me some more.
Till you get sore?
Smack it till you get sore.
Smack it.
Oh.
Moving on.
All right.
Mike, you've got some weird phobias for us.
Yes.
We did an episode on phobias. I think it was like our 3rd or 4th episode ever.
So if you're OG, you should remember these.
You should remember some of these at least.
Well, these aren't the same phobias, but you should remember
that episode.
Exactly.
If you haven't heard that episode, go back after listening to the rest of this.
Yeah.
And go and listen to that one because it was hilarious. I did have a great time.
I think there was some funny shit in that one.
It was, and I'm excited to hear what other phobias you have for me today, Mike.
Okay. So here's the game. I'm going to read the phobia, and then you have to guess what you think it is. Okay. So,
all right.
Photophobia. Sorry, optophobia.
Optophobia. Is that the fear of opening your eyes?
Yes, sir. Nice.
Got him.
All right. You ready for this one?
That's a weird phobia. Fear of opening your eyes. What the fuck?
Yeah, you just walk around with your eyes closed all the time. You're too scared.
Are you blood? No, I just don't want to open my eyes.
If I open my eyes, I'll fucking die. All right, so you ready? Geniophobia.
Geniophobia. Is that spelt with a G or a J?
A G.
A G. Is that the fear of hair products?
Negative, sir.
Is it the fear of gelatin?
No, sir. I see where you might think that, but no.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like literal translations of this. Good Lord. Gelatophobia?
No. Geliophobia.
Geliophobia. Oh, man. Is it the fear of jelly shots?
Negative, sir.
I'm lost, man.
'Tis the fear of laughter.
Okay. Is it from like Latin or something?
Let's see. I'm not sure if it's Latin, but it's the suggested reasons for Geniophobia, anxiety about laughing in inappropriate situations or being laughed at by others. It's like an anxiety thing, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds about right.
All right, so here's a crazy one. So it's a big one. I'm gonna give it a go. Arachibutierophobia. Butiro. Arachibutierophobia.
You're really struggling with this, aren't you?
It's a big word, sir.
Is it the fear of thesauruses?
Negative.
Is it the fear of dictionaries?
Negative.
Is it the fear of frying pans?
Negative.
Open windows?
Ooh, no, it's not.
Am I getting any closer?
You are
with
nowhere
any of these
near
guesses?
at all. You're so far away. You couldn't see this.
The fear of electronics?
No.
Is it the fear of the dark?
It is not.
Is it fear of closing your eyes?
Negative.
Is it the fear of going blind?
No.
Dang it. No, I'm out of guesses.
The fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's true.
Why?
It's like, it may not
Who
be
has
a
that
debilitating or life-altering condition,
What?
yet no list is weird phobias would be complete without the inclusion of arachibutierophobia.
I mean, it makes it even better that you can't even pronounce the name.
Inexplicable fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth. While peanut butter is clearly not obligatory for a health and satisfactory life, but these people could miss out on the goodness of peanut butter because they scared.
They so scared.
All right, you ready with this one?
Yeah, go on.
Heliphobia.
Heliphobia. Is that Hellly?
Helli.
Heli. That's the fear of the sun, surely.
Fear of sunlight.
Sunlight.
Yes.
Because the Greek for sun is helios.
Yeah.
So that's probably where that word came from.
It's pretty interesting.
There's a
There's fear of
sunlight.
bright lights as well.
Yeah.
Most often, a fear or condition is associated with an anxiety about the perceived dangers of the sun. However, unless you happen to be a vampire, avoiding the sun is entirely as likely to be impossible and unnecessary.
Cloudy days still mean UV rays, Claire.
It's pretty insane. And even then, like, a lot of these people suffer because it's dangerous. As sunlight is good for regulating the mood and protecting bone health.
You need that
So
vitamin D.
You need that. All right. This one. All right. So, do you know what neophobia is?
Is it the fear of old black and white films about gangsters?
Negative, sir.
Is it... Sorry, that was noir I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Is it the fear of a certain character in The Matrix?
Yes. No, it's not.
Yes? Oh, shit. Damn it. I thought you had it. Is it the fear of new things?
It is the fear of new things. Can you see my phone?
No, I legitimately can't. I'm just throwing... I'm looking over here most of the time. Away from you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it is the fear of new things.
I needed to rest my back. That's all it was. But yeah, I got it. Yay! Go me.
So, neophobia can impact on happiness and well-being as sufferers miss out on many life-enhancing experiences.
Yeah,
when applied to the diet, it can also mean that sufferers miss out on various healthy foods and nutrients. Research has also shown that the stress of neophobia can shorten life expectancy.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's fair, actually. Shit, that sounds debilitating,
It's
actually.
pretty rough.
Yeah. Imagine having neophobia. I'm just scared of Neo from The Matrix.
Yeah, right. I think he's going to bust out the wall.
It's the constant fear that he's just going to bust in through the door and start doing cartwheels in your living room.
Yeah, I'd fucking run. Like, Neo, stop doing this, man. This is the second time you've jumped through my wall. I don't understand.
It's just Keanu Reeves just busting through your door. You just go, Jesus Christ, man, I just replaced that.
That's right. He can afford to replace it again.
He just wants to relive the 90s, okay?
All right, so we've got another good one. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Geniophobia.
Is it the fear of receptionists named Jenny?
No.
Dang it. Is it the fear of the IT Crowd TV show?
No.
Dang it. I thought I was close with that one.
No.
No.
I don't think so.
Is it? You said it was Geniophobia, yeah?
It's Geniophobia.
Geniophobia. Is it spelled with a J?
A G.
Ah, is it fear of genetics? The fear of genes?
No,
fear of DNA?
no, like
fear of semen?
no.
Was that close with any of those?
I feel like genetics can play a part of this, but no.
Is it the fear of brown hair?
No.
The fear of black hair?
No, you're close.
Blonde hair?
No.
Is it the fear of eyebrows?
No, we're getting closer.
Is it the fear of eyelashes?
No, getting closer.
Nose hair? Mustaches?
Oh, you're close. You're getting close. You're getting
Beards?
close. No. It's not hair.
Soul patches?
It's not hair.
It's not hair. Is it fear of lips?
Close.
The tongue? Teeth?
Close. It's not in the mouth.
The esophagus?
No, okay, so it's the fear of chins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I would not have got that.
No. There's there are phobias like this that's called Genuphobia, which
of
is the fear of
chins.
knees. Yeah. Then there's chirophobia, which is the fear of hands.
What's the fear of elbows?
Oh, look, I was about to read it out. It's an even scarier word than the last one. Ishikasikagigophobia. Some big fucked off word.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Pretty much just the fear of elbows.
I love that. That tickles me pink.
No, someone.
Right there.
Yeah, Ryan.
That's amazing. I love that. I needed a good chuckle today, Mike. Thank you.
Yeah, that's right. Extending your life. You're welcome.
Yeah.
And then you've got another good one here, which is Syngensophobia. Sorry, Syngensophobia.
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 Is it the fear of naughty genes?
Nope.
Is it the fear of criminals' genes?
No.
Is it the fear of
Genes do have a play in here.
as in
but,
as in the genes that make
no.
up you, or like
Yeah.
Levi's genes?
Not like Levi's genes, like actual genes.
Is it the fear of brown eyes?
No.
Is it the fear of red eyes?
No. It's not
Fear
eyes.
of pink faces?
No, it's not body parts.
Dang it. Is it the fear of fear?
No.
No, that's phobophobia.
Yeah.
Is it the fear of redundant words?
Like phobophobia.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm out of guesses.
All right. It's the fear of relatives.
Okay.
Yeah. It's some so
Sorry, I can't come to Christmas this year. I've got syngensophobia.
they suffer from an excessive fear of their relatives, unless there's a specific explicable reason for these fears. It is worth seeking help.
No shit. Hold on, Grandma's coming over for
shit. I
tea
need
and
to get the fuck out of here.
I just realised I had something to go to very urgently. It's away from here.
Yeah, I just need your mum's coming around. Oh fuck, get the fuck out of here.
Shit, run.
Then you've got. Let me see if I can find. I'll find one more.
All right, one more.
All right. So we've got. Okay, so dipinophobia.
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 Is it the fear of tie-dye?
Negative.
Is it the fear of regular dye?
Negative.
Is it the fear of dying?
Negative. It's got nothing to do with die nor dying.
Dang it! I'm just trying to go through the literal ones first, and then we'll try and fucking fix
Go
it.
far away from those things.
Is it the fear of rolling a 7 in craps?
Negative.
Is
Nothing to do with rolling.
So it's nothing to do with dice?
No.
Dang it. It's nothing to do with dying. It's nothing
No.
to do with die. Is it something to do with your feet?
Negative.
Is it any body part?
No. I mean,
Is it
body
the fear
parts
of
are
thighs?
included, but no.
Is it the fear of dismemberment?
Negative.
Is it the fear of decapitation?
No. Nothing to do with death.
I mean, dismemberment has nothing to do with death. You can die from it, but it's not deadly.
No. Okay. It's not that.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
All right.
What,
Like I
yeah.
said, it's far from that. It's the fear of dinner conversations.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, right. I'd be scared.
I too am scared of dinner conversations.
It's also it also includes the fear of carrying a conversation while eating.
Yeah, your mouth does look gross when you're eating and trying to talk.
I think it's just people not wanting to talk while they eat, really.
Yeah. No other reason. I just
They'd
don't
rather
want to talk
just
to you.
stay silent.
Just stay silent and eat my steak. Come on. Don't make me do this.
But apparently staying silent while eating can actually help benefit digestion.
Yeah, because you're not constantly talking through your meal. It's small brain stuff right there.
Digestion.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's small brain stuff. Because you only need a small brain to digest.
Mm.
Yeah.
Big brain to understand, though.
Big brain to understand it. Speaking of big brains, if you did hit that subscribe button down below, you are big brain. You are big brain. And if you hit those links in the description, you're also big brain.
Your brain will get bigger.
Comment down below. Tell us how big your brain actually is.
What you want to do is you want to get your hand, and with a friend, you want to get your hand and you want to
Yeah.
put it close to your face. And then
Not on your face, but just close
just
to your
in front of your face. And then I want you to say, "Do I have cancer?" And then, bah! Nah, don't do that.
And then you'll be treated for the cancer that you obviously have.
Your face cancer.
Face cancer.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, you've just been pranked.
Got 'em.
You will know.
Anyway, hit that like and subscribe button. Comment down below. Tell us, what's a weird phobia that you might have or that you've
Yes.
heard of? Tell us
And
some more weird and wonderful things.
and we did miss our upload on Thursday, yes, but as of today, it is still Thursday in America, so it is still Thursday somewhere. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's still technically
This may not
Thursday.
be your time, but I mean, time is just a construct. It's not real, so I mean,
It's always Thursday.
every day. No, but we will see you next week, Thursday.
Back to your regularly scheduled uploads next week. Until then,
Adios.
adios.